All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to talk about random colors because, quite frankly, it's easy to be very deliberate with colors when you know what you want, and otherwise it could be a little more difficult if you just want to create some randomness. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So if I could just switch over really fast, feel free to say hello. Would love to hear from you in chat, and want to welcome you and everyone else. Welcome. There we are. Boom. All right, let's get this party started. Switching over, showing you a screen that honestly could use a little work, because look at all this black and white. There we go, Laura. Good to see you here, Laura and Tom and Isabel, and everyone is here, and we're all ready to get this party started. So let's dive into this. All right, fantastic. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. All right, cool. So this is kind of the situation that I have, is I want to actually kind of have some randomness with colors. We all know we can kind of jump in here and, select any one of these characters and, change their color like so. Okay, so there's a couple different things we could do. Maybe I'll give them some eyeballs as well. This one could use some eyeballs, drawing in some eyeballs like that. Zoop, zoop. Maybe they're goofy, whatever the case may be. But here's a couple of eyeballs in there. So I actually want to, rather than picking colors, as we know we can, right? We could do this all day long. And I maybe want these eyeballs to be different colors as well. I want to apply randomness to all of these characters, okay? All these different shapes. So I'm going to select them all like this, and I'm going to point you in the right direction for what I'm going to show you right now, which is random swatches fill. Okay, cool. From Leitica, good to have you. From München, where's München? Help me out here. I don't know where that is. Greece as well. Theodora, awesome. Margaret, first time you caught me. You finally caught me. Man, I was trying so hard to stay away. Just kidding. Lisbon and New Zealand here as well. So anyway, random swatches fill. So this is a script, and we can go ahead and find this online. Random swatches. Because what I want to do is I want to give the creator, of course, credit. Oh, here we go. This is Vector Boom has a link out to it. But they're not the creator of it. Are they? Maybe that is where I got it. Okay, fantastic. Random swatches fill. You can see it right here. They're talking about these plugins, random swatches fill. So basically, you got to put it in the scripts folder. All you need to do is download it. So that's all I did. Downloaded it, showing it in Finder. We can unzip it, put it in this path right here. And I can always, if you hit me up later, I can send you this exact link. But all you need to do is Google exactly like I did. Okay, so once you put it where it needs to go in the scripts folder, just like I've done with lots of scripts, you have access to it, right? So again, everything's selected. Let's go to scripts. Here's all the scripts that I actually currently use, some more than less, okay? Random swatches fill is the one I want to pick. Now, what do I want to do with these random swatches? Well, I want to pick some colors. So right over here in my swatches panel, I'll come over here and I'll just do a click. Maybe I'll shift click the 5 colors that I want to use. So these are the 5 colors I want to use right there. They're really bold and really loud, to be honest with you. And then we'll go into scripts, and you know what's going to happen. It's going to go ahead and pick those colors based on those swatches that I have selected, right? And it does the obvious. Boom, there we have it. As you can see right in here, let's zoom out. All my characters are colored randomly, right? So, and when I say randomly, it's not quite that random because I did actually get to pick these colors. So if I do want to maybe get away from this primary color palette, I can go in here and pick maybe these colors. Shift, click, we're just going to go yellows to greens, right? And it's the same process. I like that I can define what random colors I want to go with, and now they're all tinted that green color. Cool. So hopefully that works out well. Aside from that script, which I really wanted to get in front of you right away, was actually kind of adjusting the colors maybe with a little bit more finesse. Because it's always a surprise when I see these colors, like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's cool how it turned out. Maybe I want to have more control over them. And I'm sorry, my hard drive is so full of junk that's why everything's moving so slow. Because I want to duplicate this, actually. I just want to click and drag. And it's like, ugh. Anyways. So let's take a look at this a little more closely. Let's have more control over this. Now that I have maybe this palette that I like, let's select everything. Let's go into Recolor Artwork, by the way. Recolor Artwork is interesting. It's actually about to be featured in a, what is it? A new, I can't take a look at my email right now, but it's going to be featured in some new ads coming up this week, which I find fascinating. Edit, it's for a Windows machine. I don't know if it's HP, but some Windows machine. So we're going to go to Edit, Edit Colors, and Recolor Artwork. Okay, so from there, selecting that, I get these colors that I can then select Edit and then adjust accordingly. So if I do want these to be maybe more into yellow or more into the green, into the teal color, teal family, is how I can rotate that on in. So Oran Sadak, I want to welcome you from Oran, Algeria. Can I come visit? Because that would. Daniels, I tell you, definitely it's a hard drive issue. It is. It has to be. I know it's a hard drive issue. It's like so bad. I don't have any room on my hard drive. It's horrible. But to your point, what I would do, Daniels, I'll click OK. This is my new color palette. I would always check Command Y to see the number of vectors. And maybe to your point, you do see a lot of vectors here. So you could always go into Object, Path, and you can simplify paths. Say, hey, you know what? Let's have either more or less precision. You know, maybe basically making less points is what I'm doing right now. Giving this less points, less curve precision. I've basically smoothed out all of those lines and I made this less complex, right? They look a little lumpy, but that's okay. Okay, so from there, let's go back into Recolor Artwork because there's more things we could do. Edit colors, Recolor Artwork. By the way, under this whole, we typically talk about this whole Recolor Artwork, but there's a ton of things I can do in here. So anytime I want to change something to black and white, I can change something to grayscale by obviously selecting Convert to Grayscale, right? Color balance, all of that. You could do the same color balance and some of those same tips and tricks right in here in Recolor Artwork. These are just quick and easy to get to. A Recolor Artwork, like I said, if I did want to amp up the saturation, I could lock everything down. Right here, this is making everything dark and dingy, maybe making them brighter, right? And giving them more pop. I have that control right in this little color wheel right here, okay? So I have that kind of control, and that's what I'll do is I'll typically lock that down. Everybody knows that it can do this, right? Let's go into Assign, and in Assign, you can see that those same 5 colors, right? I've picked 5 colors. What if I only want 3 colors? Well, guess what? Drop down, changing it to 3 colors, and now I have this 3-color palette, right? 1, 2, 3, obviously. It's taking these colors that are maybe more of a blue, a light blue, and crunching it down into that solid blue. So that's what's happening there. What even is actually pretty random, it looks like there's more colors here than there really are. There's actually only 3 colors just because of the number of shapes, right? Yes, exactly. Ebo is exactly right. It mentions about when you do simplify, it sometimes changes the shape. Let me kind of draw something out. I'm going to hit N for pencil. Okay, I'm going to draw out this shape. A lot of times I just make sure my pencil is on smooth, and then I wanted to show you this right in here. Option key toggles to smooth tool. So if you want even more control, we want to go ahead and use the smooth tool. And all I have to do is hold on the option key when I'm using the pencil. Let's pick a color. Drawing out our shape like that. Boop. Holding down the Option key, and it will start to smooth out those lines and get rid of those points. Just to show you even a more extreme example, if I did set this to right in the middle, right? So the fidelity is right in the middle. I'll pick a color. Drawing. This one's going to have more points. Not even that many more points. But again, the Option key. If you're curious as to where that is, so if you do want that more control, I just go with the Smooth tool. Okay? There you go. You got it. Smooth tool. You get the idea. I can redraw over that like so. We could try a gold color. Actually, one thing I actually would like to try is I'm going to try something really fast and see if this actually works. So what's interesting here is I'm going to select these three colors. One of them, I'm just going to try and see if this works, happens to be a pattern. There we go. So you want to get more advanced, by the way? Yes, it would be Alt on Windows, Option key on Mac. Check this out. So let me just kind of click over. Let me show you some things. Because I typically create up my own swatches panel that has all of these fun textures and all this fun stuff. Let's do this. Wait for it. Wait for it. I just wanted to show one thing really fast. I kind of want to bring it back to where it was before. Let's just copy these characters, bringing them over here. And typically, I will have, my own swatches panel already set up with colors. All of these are global colors. So this isn't necessarily random. Like you typically want to be really specific. And the fact that these have little notches in them, that means it's a global color. So I can change it at any time. I'm going to try this though. Here's all my characters. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select, let's try this. Again, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to select these three gradients. I'm going to go change these three gradients to radial. I'm going to go to scripts and then do random swatches fill there. Let's make sure I had those selected actually. File export scripts, random swatches fill. You could see that it works with the gradients. And that's why I wanted to shift to this new file because I already had gradients set up. Same thing for patterns, right? Coming in here, selecting multiple patterns, making this even more fun. You get the idea. That's what I have for you. Let me know if you have more questions. Let's look at how crazy these ones get. Let's actually hold down the Command key and I can click through to these different patterns just for fun, and different gradients and different colors, right? Now it's going to get nuts. Now I'll do the random swatches fill. It would help if I actually select the objects. And there you've gotten some craziness. Han Mok, when I picked a color and then I drew the line, why did it change to transparent? It actually didn't change to transparent. It's just that I picked a fill color. So notice how this is a fill over here. So that was it was kind of tricky when that happened. I might have picked a color, which you thought, well, this is going to be like the color. But when you draw, nothing happens. Even though the line is still there, it's the fact that it was the fill color. So there it is like that. Okay. Little pro tip, if you are doing a lot of drawing, you can consider actually, especially if I'm making characters or whatever, I can, if I always want to draw at like 10 point and let's open up my properties panel. I always want to have a nice rounded cap on it. I can do that. I can add that. I can open up the appearance panel And from the appearance panel, I'll do this flyout menu, and I'm going to turn this off. So I typically make sure new art doesn't have basic appearance. The new art is going to have exactly the settings that I have set up, right? So this new art, guess what? These lines are always going to be red, right? So I hit pencil, draw. It's always going to be that same size with those rounded ends, right? So just uncheck this if you want to be consistent with your strokes and to get tired of changing all that fun stuff, right? But typically at the end of the day, what I'll have set up is, of course, my swatches panel that has all the colors that I need typically, and I'll use things like random swatches fill. Thank you to that creator out here, and I looked for their name and I couldn't find it, but you can see they kind of go through it as well. Cool. You get the idea. And then let's not forget about everybody's favorite, which is Recolor Artwork as well. Cool. That's about it. Thank you, Afrojas. So nice, Christian. Download the scripts through that link. In fact, I'm going to paste it into as a comment right now. Give me 1 second. If you give me 1 second, let's try this one more time. Here it is. Copy. New computer. There you go. Got it. So thank you. If you have joined me on Facebook, I've pinned a link to that random swatches fill. Vicky, thank you so much for joining me as well. Sabine as well. Andrea, I just posted. The link should hopefully come through. If you're joining me on other platforms. Hopefully that came through. If it didn't, just contact me through social media and all that fun stuff. Fantastic. And yeah, my goal is to help you grow. My goal is to grow as well in terms of tips and tricks and everything. I think there's the technical side of Illustrator and then the graphic design side of it and the Illustrator side. So I'd love to talk about that some more as well. So Matteo, thank you for joining us from Philippines, and everybody is... It's been fantastic today, joining me from all over. So that's about it. There's always more things that I want to show, but you get the idea. And just don't forget about all the things you could do when you go into editing colors and playing with that color wheel. I encourage you to do so. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day. That's all I have for you. Go out, be kind to one another. Make sure you call your mom. She probably misses you. I don't know. Give somebody a hug. Tell them their hair looks good today. And I will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.